guys, on this next episode, we're bringing you inside from the great outdoors. Hi, welcome to my kitchen for this episode. You know, nothing's better than a couple of nice walleye fillets. And when you talk about walleye, what's the first thing you think of? You think of a Canadian shore lunch. Deep fried, fresh walleye caught with some spuds and onions and a can of beans. Well, I'm going to show you today a simple recipe. Now, what can make walleye better? Bacon. Bacon makes everything better, right? Well, I got a recipe for you. A bacon and onion dressing with baked walleye. Well, the first thing to do is defrost your walleye fillets. They've been vacuum sealed. The note here, cabin 5, tells me these are from our trip up to Canada. So the thing that was surprising when I was going to get the walleye fillets was I kind of dug these out of the back of the freezer, and look at the date on here. June of 2013. These walleye fillets are going on 5.5 years old, but because of the vacuum seal, if you look close, you're not going to see any freezer burn on these fish. Now, in Canada, when you bring your walleye home, you have to have the skin on for identification coming across the border so they know what type of fish and that you're not over your limit. But even when we're in the States, when we fillet them up and clean them out, we like to leave the skin on just for this purpose. I know we vacuum seal them, but that skin protection of the meat is just an extra layer of protection to help keep your meat fresh. But like I said, this is going on 5.5 years, but because of vacuum sealing, they look like they were packaged yesterday. On to the second package here out of the freezer, which was bacon. We had some hickory smoked bacon that we bought back in January of 17. Going on 2 years old, this meat looks like it was packaged yesterday. So I don't push the name brands of products to buy. I don't care what version you buy, but I highly recommend a vacuum seal. So if you do hunting and fishing and you take that harvest and you don't want to waste that meat or that fish, trust me guys, buy yourselves a vacuum seal. Again, I don't care what brand you buy, but it does the trick. Okay, again, I apologize for the shadows. I mean, I do not have a professional lighted kitchen here. We're working in my home kitchen. So anyways, flour, vinegar. I like to use the apple cider vinegar, and some lemon juice is what we need. So let's get that open. One. Go a little heavier on that one because we were a little short on the other one. 3 tablespoons of flour. Close that up. Yeah. 3 tablespoons of vinegar. And again, I do not promote any specific brand, but I do like to use the apple vinegar. So 1 and 3. 3 tablespoons of vinegar. All right, and 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. There we go. Tablespoon of lemon juice. So let's set these aside. Our tablespoon of lemon juice, 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, 3 tablespoons of flour. Next, the recipe calls for 2 medium small onions. I've got 1 large instead. So first thing we do is I like to have a bag handy to throw the stuff out in. Next, face down, we're going to cut this in half. Now I like to peel that outer layer completely off. And we clean this up. What we do is we make some cuts into the onion. Now what I do, there we go, half the onion. I think I'm going to chop it up just a little bit more. I mean, I like to cook, but I'm nowhere near the expert of chopping and dicing and everything else. So, there's our onion. All those little good pieces of onion. So we're going to set that aside. All right, next, let's prep our bacon. And I know the recipe calls for 1/3 pound of bacon. This package is probably about a pound of extra thick bacon. And I want to take out probably a little over 1/2 pound. I got it stacked in 2s. So what I like to do with the bacon is cut it lengthwise first. There we go. All right. Next, we cut them into small sections. I cut them bigger, I guess you'd say. They look a little large, but once you start frying them, they shrink. As you can see, I stack them 4 high when I dice them. There we go. Bacon is done. Okay, with the bacon done, we're going to set that aside. So we have everything prepped here. Our onions, lemon juice, vinegar, flour, and our chopped up bacon ready to start frying. So we're going to get this cleaned up. All right, first thing I do is I like to split them in half. They're just easier to get the skin off. Okay guys, I'm sure everybody's done this before, but for those who haven't, I like to just pinch a fingernail down, use the tip of the knife to start. I work my way forward as I work the knife in a sawing motion. And there we go. One nice clean fillet, skinned. All right, the other thing on these fillets is you're going to find the way we fillet them. There's a thin edge of rib bones right in here that we end up leaving in. Other than that, this is a boneless fillet when we take care of this. So what I do is I'll go back here and find where that last bone ends, which is right here. I'll go in with the tip of the knife and on that side and on this side. There. And we take out that little strip of bone, what I like to call the walleye fillet. There it is, one boneless walleye fillet. Now the other thing I like to do is the silver skin, whatever they call it. I call it silver skin. I like to take some of that off if I can. Start taking that off. There. Some guys leave it on. It's not the end of the world. Just a personal preference. I like mine off. So like I said, there it is. One boneless walleye fillet. and I'll continue this cut right down the middle and split this into 2 nice fillets. I do check the edges here. We got a little bone out here that we missed. Take that out, and we are good to go on that one. So we do that 4 more times. Okay, so the only other thing I like to do, you can see they're all filleted, like I showed you. The top towards the dorsal fin, nice thick chunks, and these are on the belly side. They're a little thinner. But what I like to do is I like to kind of square them up, get rid of the real thin ends because they're going to cook different. So we're going to put these in a bowl for now, put them back in the fridge, and we're going to get our sauce started. All right, got a nice big pan here to saute in. I'm going to preheat the pan, get that heated up. Okay, while we're waiting for this pan to get hot, I can feel the heat rising. We're also going to need, as part of the sauce, a 1.5 cups of boiling water. So we're going to get this set up and ready to go. And usually takes a couple of minutes, so we're not going to turn it on just yet. But just before we need it, we'll get that turned on. So we'll have to add boiling hot water along with the flour to make our sauce. All right, I believe this is hot enough, and we're going to get the bacon in there. Start frying up our bacon. Okay, there's our splatter lid. Cover that up so it doesn't splatter, and let's get that crisped up good. So again, we got out a paper plate and paper towels to drain the bacon when it's done. Not advertising a brand of soda, but I keep an old soda can that I keep bacon grease in. So we're going to pour off some of this bacon grease when it's done. I like to make a little tray here out of tin foil, just in case I'm a little messy with spilling so it doesn't get all over. And we're just waiting for that bacon to crisp up yet. Whew, just the smell of that bacon. Oh, you can see it's getting there. Now the next thing I'm doing is I got out some aluminum foil for my baking pan. Ooh, that bacon is starting to smoke. That off. Let's move this. It's time to start taking the bacon out. So I've got a slotted spatula here. And we're taking out that bacon. Letting the grease drain. Alright, we got the bacon out and it's draining. We got the grease in here. So we're ready to brown the onions. Batteries. Anyways, we've got our onions in the bacon fat, and we are going to brown them a little bit. All right, while we've got the onions sauteing, we're taking some aluminum foil, putting this in our baking pan. Just makes cleanup a whole heck of a lot easier. And the one thing I try to do is make sure in the corners I don't rip and tear it. Otherwise, you end up scraping and cleaning the pan anyways. Wrap that around. And that is set. Look at them onions. They're doing fine. They're getting there. Even the onions in that bacon fat. Oh, it smells delicious. We're going to take some olive oil spray. Now you can grease the pan with whatever you want. Lard. I prefer to use a cooking spray. And I'll spray it in. Take a small towel I know it absorbs a little bit, but I like to spread it around. And I'll spray one more time. I do the sides. And hopefully nothing sticks. So then one more spray. And we've got ourselves a well-greased pan for our walleye fillets. All right, let's check on them onions. Oh, they're getting very close. So I'm going to drain a little of that off right now. Get the onions spread out again. And let's get our water boiling. And let's get this up to a boil. Okay guys, why are we boiling water? Okay, even I know if I take hot grease and put something ice cold or cold in the hot grease, what's going to happen? Kaboom! I'm going to have grease flying all over. So we don't want warm water, we want boiling water. It's starting to steam already, but we want it to a boil. And even at that, we're going to pour it in slow. Okay, we transferred our fillets into a colander. And we want to give them a cold water rinse. Okay, we got our water up to a boil. The onions are perfect. So now we're going to put in our flour. Stir that in. That's going to thicken up and create our sauce. Now we're going to add our boiling water. And like I said, we want to go easy, guys. There's our water. Stir that up. Put in our bacon. Alright, there's that sauce. Getting nice and thick. Oh, does that look delicious, guys? I can smell it. Oh, to die for. Now let's lay our fillets in the pan. And there you have it. Get the oven preheated to 350. There you can see, bake 350. We're preheating that. We're getting real close. The sauce is thickening up beautifully right now. So I think it's time to add our vinegar. 3 tablespoons of vinegar. And a tablespoon of lemon juice. Get this stirred up a little. Oh, does that smell good? That vinegar with that lemon, delicious. We're going to let this simmer just a little bit and coat our fish. Okay, so there's our sauce. It thickened up perfect. Bacon and onion sauce, and does that smell delicious? We're going to coat the fillets. Like I said, guys, how do you make walleye better? Use bacon. Oh, get all that delicious sauce. Use a little spatula to move this stuff around. And want to make sure we got them all covered good. Cover up the fish so it doesn't dry out. So that's essentially what I do right there. Ready to go in the oven. that in there. 350 for an hour. So there you have it, guys. It's in the oven. In an hour, we have our baked walleye with bacon and onion dressing. So what I like to do is either have a potato with it, with like an oniony base. We use like an onion soup mix with the small potatoes that we dice up and bake those in the oven. Or what I found, again, I'm not pushing products or who you buy them from, but this is a rice and pasta blend with broccoli and cheese sauce. I think that'll go perfect with the bacon onion sauce walleye. Okay guys, the buzzer just went off. Our baked walleye with the bacon and onion dressing is done. Microwave went off a little while ago, and we have our rice, cheese, broccoli mix. So we're all ready to eat. Let's see what that looks like. Guys, look at that. Right there. Bacon and onion dressed walleye. Here we go. And our broccoli cheese rice mix. That smells so good. Cheesy broccoli rice for a side dish with our bacon onion dressed walleye fillets. Oh, I can't wait, guys. I'm dipping in. Took a fork. Just a little corner of the walleye. God, is that good. What a wonderful dish. Guys, this dish, fried walleye, can't touch this. Enjoy. So my granddaughter, Michaela, she could smell it downstairs, couldn't you? She's dying to try it. Blow on it a little bit.
There's bacon.
Try it. See, guys, even the kids like it. Make sure you make enough of it.
It's good.
Okay.
All right.
Third taste tester.
Yum. Looks yummy. Very good. This
Good
is
stuff.
delicious. Yes.
And a glass of wine to boot.
Cheers.
Hi. If you'd like a copy of the baked walleye with bacon and onion dressing recipe, just drop us a line at Rapant Outdoors 360 at gmail.com. We'll get you a list of all the ingredients and how we made it. Thanks. Hi. That's the end of this week's video episode. Hope you enjoyed it. If you like this episode, please click on the like button. Then go ahead and click the subscribe button also if you haven't become a subscriber yet. This way you won't miss any of the future videos that I put out. You'll be notified. Feel free to comment below, or you can also drop us an email at rapantoutdoors360 at gmail.com. Looking forward to hearing from you guys, and as always, thanks for watching. See you next time.